Hey, morning, Al. Morning, everybody. Morning, morning. Goose, be safe driving out there, buddy, if you can hear me. And wow, that deal done. Arturo, morning. How's everybody doing? If you want to chat with me, make sure you subscribe. That's the only requirement. You just have to hit the subscribe button, and you can chat with me while I'm live. If you're viewing this later and I'm not live anymore, I'm sorry you missed it. I do this live every morning at 9:10. But you can leave me a comment and I'll get back to you, or just come pop over to Discord and talk to me. And if you're like, Discord, what's that? Well, you can join my market roadmap in the description, and you get a link to Discord, and you can come chat with me. So it's like $5 for 3 months, and there's like a deal to extend it for another 12 months for like $20. I mean, pretty good deal. And not only that, you get some awesome trade setups too. So, morning, Valerie. Good morning, everybody. That deal is done, at least through the House and the Senate. On to Biden's desk. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't sign it at this point, unless he just, Alzheimer's kicking in. Anyway, hey, Gary, glad to have you. And, yeah, I mean, what's next, right? We're probably going to get some crazy massive pop today. Yeah, it falls down. I saw that yesterday. Oh my gosh. Broke a hip. I don't know. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't off himself falling down the stairs, and we get President Harris in office. Anyway, not politicking here, just talking, just blabbing. All right, let me load up the disclaimer in the calendar here and pop it up, and here we go. So, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Don't use money that you can't afford to lose. I say that all the time, but what does that mean? It means don't use money that you got to feed yourself, feed your kids, pay the rent. If you're sitting there like, I got to make some money, otherwise I might lose my house. Well, you need to focus on something else besides trading, because you're going to lose your house. Drinking my peach monster this morning. Delicious flavor. Love that flavor. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. I may be full of garbage, crap, and never get something right again. Now, this presentation here is intended to be informational, educational, and fun. Hope you're having fun. If you're not having fun in life, what's the point, right? But it's not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument or anything else. Like, don't even buy my market roadmap thing. Like, you can just keep coming back and watching this stuff. So, morning, Philip. Glad to have you. And if you desire personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor that has a fiduciary duty to take care of you and give you good advice. Funny enough, that wasn't even a thing until recently. Like, the U.S. had to pass a law for financial advisors to give you financial advice based on your financial situation. That's only been a thing for a couple of years now. Ridiculous, right? You would think. I don't know. I don't even know. People. Hey, Michael. Hey, Francois. Morning, everybody. Glad to have you. Goose is driving this morning to the airport, going to see his mom in Texas. And I'm not sure where Kimberly is. Probably. She's home. She made it home finally. All right. So that's that calendar. We had jobs, unemployment coming out this morning. Non-farm unemployment change. It seems like a cooked the books number here, but I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. What does it mean? I don't know. We're expecting, like, down here, we got up here at 339, and expecting on 193. We added that many jobs, but at the same time yesterday, we have like that many unfilled job openings. I don't know. Something's just not jiving here with the numbers. I don't. It reminds me of whose line is it anyway? All the numbers are made up, and the prices don't matter. Morning, Penny. Morning, Shane. And yeah, so unemployment rate actually going up to 3.7. We add a bunch of jobs. We add a bunch of I don't know. Maybe that's high schoolers. I don't know. You got me. Seasonal adjustment for high schoolers getting out of school, maybe. None of this stuff making much sense right now. Causing a little volatility in the markets, though, and we're pushing higher, like I talked about. Be careful. We're getting near the top here. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure we're going to be getting near the top. For SPY, that means somewhere right up here at this August high. I don't usually pull up SPY, but there it is. So S&P 500 SPX, that means right up here at the August high. Same thing. Now, S5FI, this is the curious thing here. We're still down here at the bottom. So this thing may shoot off. We may see a super giant FOMO rally take hold here. This thing could go on a several day rip. If we get up to this 80% level, where 80% of the S&P 500 stocks are above the 50-day moving average. Let me turn this out of log mode. If we get up here near 80, I mean, look, we didn't quite go as high as I thought, but we did the dip. We may do the pop. We could hang out at 80, but I don't know. This is fishy right here. Fishy. NDFI kind of hanging out in the middle. So indecisive on what's going to happen next here. A little bit of a coin flip. I could see some volatility hitting the markets. So looking at ES, we're actually starting to push into that zone where we made those topping. We consolidated. Now, why is it that whole big zone and not just the high? Well, look at this. We kind of topped out there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 days. Took us to make that top. So I've made an orange box right at that and brought it over here. And we're about to go test that. We haven't been up in this zone since August last year. What's going to happen? I kind of expect a reaction. I don't expect us to just pop through the first time. I don't. We saw this happen over here where it took us some effort to get into that high. And then we kind of pulled back off it, then we pushed on through. We could see that on S&P 500, or we could see a bigger reaction. So NASDAQ, the next resistance is right up here at this 15.2, 15,200, where we topped out up here in March. That's March 2022. Like, what is that? April, May, June. 15 months ago. Doing my instant math. So that's the next resistance on NQ. Now we could find a top right in here at 15,000. That'd be okay. Be careful. We're probably going to see a pullback. AI, we're probably going to see rotation out of AI stuff. Like, I was talking about this yesterday with my Echo Trades people. NVIDIA, pull it up. This right here at these levels is right around 36 to 38 times sales. Not times earnings, but times sales. Think about it. All the sales they do, we're at 36 times their sales. Things over 20 are frothy and bubbly, all right? I talked about this back in October 2021, how all these companies with price to sales greater than 20 were going to get slammed. And that's what we saw in 2022. Those were the hardest hit. Most of those stocks lost upwards of 70%, 60, 70% of their value. Why? Because you can't have price to sales over 20 and maintain that without sales exploding higher. NVIDIA doesn't have, they're popular, but they're not exploding their sales at some exponential rate right now. And this thing likely to come back to reality at some point. And so goes NVIDIA. I think so goes a lot of the AI play. Just be careful. All right. This is like Amazon back in 99, 2000 was at levels like this, and it got crushed during the dot-com bust. So, AI is only really like 6 or 8 stocks that are playing high flying. Please be careful. Please, please, please. Russell actually trying to break out of this box this morning. For those of you that follow my opening bell alert trade, I'm not sure this is coming back today. We may go retest this roadmap line again. If we can get above that, get above about 1830, this sets it up to take off up to the 2000, possibly 2100 area. So very encouraging there. Hey Pat, morning. And oil, that did get above the 70 level. I closed my short and my SCO and bought some UCO on the alert, breaking above 70. That was kind of like my first indication. Looks like we're going to get some continuation. Probably going to run up here to the roadmap line at the minimum. If not, go test this zone up here. 84-ish would be my top for now on oil. But we got some resistance to work through to get higher. I am long UCO. And if you want to know more about it, ask me on Discord. So I went out to 2024 and did that. So 2025 was a little ridiculous on the prices. So I went to 2024, I think January 2024. So it gives me about 7 months for this thing to pop. I don't think it's going to take that long. It's probably going to get up there in maybe 3 weeks or so. It could go faster. We'll see how this plays out. GC showing a little weakness here. We could see this one roll down and go for the roadmap line. We came up to the bottom of this consolidation we had right here and ran out of steam. Watch for that one to break down, roll on down. Now if we break on up, probably something like this where we consolidated. If we get above about this 2019 area, we could go on another extension, but right now that looks like it wants to go lower more than it wants to go higher. And SLV, this one I still got my eye on. Probably going to get an entry here today. This one, long-term play out to 2025, probably as far out as you can buy some options. If you're going to go for options or just buy some shares. I'm going to be looking to get into that one probably today. So stuff moving. Let's go back. Bitcoin kind of churning here. Right back to the bottom of this box. Not really super enthusiastic. Ethereum still consolidating above its box and could break out higher. Dollar just kind of churning back to the roadmap line. We might break down and go lower again. It's kind of what I expect. This was right up to resistance and roll down and go lower. That's my primary expectation on this pattern. We could break out higher, but right now that looks like it's going to roll and go lower. And we can actually run a fib line right like this. So we've got support right around that 102 level, 102 to 102.50, and we get much below that, much below 102. It really sets it up to go to 99, possibly 98. And then, of course, my target down here around 96 for the bigger pattern, bigger extension, lower pattern. UCAR, moving, nice pop, not enough chart to do anything with. Be careful that, if you're chasing that, that's dangerous stuff right there. AVGO, it's like getting a little hit. Pre-market down $9. I just grabbed the stuff that was getting talked about on StockTwits. It's like beating on the top, beating on the bottom, making a pretty good chunk of money per share. But apparently it wasn't good enough. So getting hit a little bit. And that one with that exponential up can come exponential right back down. Watch out. We can come right back down to 650. All right. Come right back down to the roadmap line. Like this can go right back down into this zone. It does not have to go higher. It does not. All right. We've consolidated right there. It would make complete sense to me to come back and test this resistance that we beat our head on for months right there on Broadcom. It just makes too much sense. I mean, that was exponential, and we can exponential come right back down. Be careful. All right. Sentinel-1, ouch. Look at that, right back down. Right up and right back down. All the way to the lows. Ouch. definitely be careful. That one can go lower. This is why I caution all the time. Yeah, it's like losing money, surprising to the downside. That can go lower. How low can she go? Run the fib. And go down to $10 right there. Lulu. Nice pop. Oh, beautiful. That one can break out and go on a run. We found resistance so far. But that one, that's pretty sweet right there. That's a nice pop. From 328 to 379. Probably going to bust out. Keep on going. And get above that resistance. Get above that resistance. I guess you got a little bit of lower low or lower high right there. Got to get above and above those highs. Get above this little spot right here. You can go right on back up. Yeah. You know, beat by 16%. Beat, you know. Yeah, this, it's like I keep saying, retail is like a have and have nots. You know, you look at something like Macy's. They beat on the top, disappointed on the bottom, and getting crushed. You know, you look at, you know, historic, that one just, whew. You look at Target, you know, ouch. You look at Walmart, though, and not so bad. You look at DG, and ouch. But then, you know, you look at, like, Crocs. Yeah, it had pretty awesome earnings, and then got hit. Under Armour, though, can't get out of its own way. So, retail's kind of like a story of haves and have-nots. If you've got a brand that's doing well, you know, you're rocking it. You know, like Ulta, you know, they were rocking it, and then big correction right back down to the consolidation. And they didn't even like, there was good numbers. I mean, but right back down, got punished. It's an interesting situation right now. Yeah, Urban Outfitters breaking out here. So there's some premium brands that are kind of bucking the trend here of retail being horrible. That one is at resistance, may retrace. So Lulu definitely looking good though. Potential breakout and run higher. MDB. Yeah, beautiful. Right up to the top of the resistance. We break out above that. We can go on a run. Gapping up to the top of the box. Beautiful. Mora. Seeing a little potential pop here. Beautiful. That one can get above these highs. We can go on a run. Could be substantial up into the $15 area. Possibly getting up into this $20 to $30 area. I have to put this back in log mode to make sense. Yeah, right there. Getting those fib line extensions. Do have resistance right up here around 15 though. CHPT. Still looking pretty bad despite a little pop this morning pre-market. TGNA. Looks like a hot pile of garbage stock. It can pop up to the roadmap line, but this is dangerous. PD. Looks like the market just opened because the pre-market thing went away. Oh, FCX. Let's go check that one out real quick. Breaking up to the roadmap line. That one can get going. Shop. What's Shop doing? Shop retracing. Beautiful. That may be a potential setup here to go higher. I threw that arrow right back to the bottom. We can bounce here and go higher on Shop. I'll be checking that one out here in a little bit. 5 below, popping up back up to the roadmap line. Another retailer. That one may roll over even deeper. I'd watch out for the support down here. It's got to break back above, otherwise it can get extension lower. Get my alerts popping up here. Cat, sitting under a lot of resistance here. Nice pop today, but still sitting under a lot of resistance. Datadog, nice pop. Probably going to come up here and test this high at 119. That probably going to go. Snow, nice, sitting right there at the resistance. That may be the retrace it needed to get the energy to go test the top up here at 208. Potentially try to break out and go higher. DD, DuPont, Dumaroon, whatever that is. Still stuck at resistance there. DuPont, Januaries. Is that what DuPont, the paint company, has turned into? FNGU, just blasting extensions. Crazy move right there. Be careful on leverage stuff. Let's see, Kimwor's, the company. Stuck at the roadmap line. That's just a sideways chart. I don't feel like a lot of opportunity there. We're just in a sideways chop. I'm probably going to come up to this 36 level and then drop back down again. The history keeps saying that's where we find resistance and then chop back down. SMCI, Super Micro. At some point, this is going to come down. Be freaking careful chasing this one higher. This is like NVIDIA right here. Just, I went through this the other day. Super Micro, the computers they sell are ridiculously priced. And, you can buy 10 GPUs in a big old rack-mounted computer, and it costs $150,000 or more. And, at some point, the AI hype is going to pop. This one can keep going, and its price to sales are not ridiculous right now. So it can actually keep going, but that's a dangerous exponential move. At some point, it's going to exponentially come back down. So Amazon cruising, that's good to hear. It's got a lot of room to make up. Nike, it's just hanging out right here. We can find a reversal, but not yet. Baidu could break up and come back and test resistance. Not too bad. In phase, showing a little strength, but still in that downtrend. Be careful. This could be the bottom and a reversal. Still got to get above the roadmap line. We came up and found resistance there just just back in April, a couple months ago. We could come up here, find resistance in this area right around 200. Be careful, all right? Be careful, be careful. PXD, just kind of churning. Tesla, potential breaking out. May go test this is the path. See the big blue arrow? Probably going to come right up in this area right here. That's the path up to about 240, 250. That's the move. TSM. That's up to extensions. I'd be careful for a deeper retrace there. It can go up just a little higher to 106, 107. That may be it for now, and it may retrace a little deeper. TMUS, ouch. Ouch. Yikes. That one looks like it's going to break down. MKSI, just consolidating at the roadmap line, nothing awesome. And MVO, probably going to come back to the roadmap line. I thought I was going to do it back here, then it went on an extension. Now may be the time. All right, let's see. I saw a couple requests. Let's see, USDIX. See, that doesn't pull up anything. Amazon's cruising. Yeah. What? So the August high is up here, 146 on Amazon. I fully expect that to come up there. And if it goes in and matches like what QQQs are doing right now, we're probably looking at like a 33% move higher on Amazon, just on the shares, up into this 164 area, just to catch up. And if QQQ keeps rallying higher, that just gives more potential for Amazon, for money to rotate into Amazon to catch up. Think about it. All they need to do is say, hey, we're launching an AI initiative and we're going to build or we're buying whatever, OpenAI or whatever. Microsoft has got a giant plunk on it, but you never know. Amazon could do anything. So keep an eye on that one. VIX, yeah, back down to 15. This is danger, caution. You know, this is getting ridiculous here. We're popping up, getting to the extensions. At some point, this thing's going to roll. We're going to get another 15 to 20% pullback on SVXY, which means VIX is going to get a little spike. Volatility's coming. You know, SCCO, is that moving? Not really. I mean, not awesome. It's a little pop, but still stuck in resistance. Watch out. Lots of resistance to get through. Has a gap right there. Lots of stuff. That's just right up into the resistance. And be careful on that one. It doesn't have to extend. If it can get through that, I mean, that's got a lot of resistance. A lot of resistance right there. If it can get through all that, maybe out to 86.92. I'm not so sure. Copper. Nope. HG, that's what I'm looking for. Can't even remember that. Copper not turning yet, really. Still looks like it can extend lower. Be very, very careful. I'm not buying the whole narrative on the commodity super cycle. S-Bucks, not. I mean, that's 1%. We're not moving today. Not interesting. Probably going to go down lower. Does have, you know, it did hold the support line, but that can easily extend lower if we get below that. All right. There was the list moving today. And what's my bias? Bias for the day? Probably going to go up to this 4,300 area. Maybe not today, but that's the direction right now. Yeah, drew it back here months ago. Probably coming up to 4,300. I only got 45 points left to go. And 43.26, it was the top back here, it looks like. High 42. Can't get on the right candle. Let's see. I know ES contracts, blah, 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 well, whatever. The high was 43.2750. Right there, 43.2750. So that's what the market's gunning for. We're going to go up and test it. SPX, that looks like right there. That was the 43.25. So watch out. Probably going to come up there and test it. It's not far away at this point. All right. There you go. Watch out for resistance and a reaction at that 4,300. If we bust on through, well, that's cool. Come back on Monday. I'll give you new targets. I am very, very concerned if we just run, if we do this, we break on out and we run right up into this 4,500 area, right up in here. Highly cautious that we see a bigger drop in the market. Bigger could be lower low. So highly, highly cautious. This sets up this, just breaking up and taking this run up, 200 more points. That gets us into a point where we can do a big, scary drop. So that's the big caution here. All right. Come talk to me in Discord, and I'll see you later. Have a great weekend. Yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you again next week.